What is Roman mythology? The ancient Roman religion was based on a belief in a variety of different gods and goddesses, with each playing an important role in different aspects of everyday life during ancient Roman times. The Romans worshipped many gods. This is because they believed that everything from rivers to trees and cows to crops had a guardian spirit watching over it. The people of Rome would pray to their gods at least once a day. The god they would pray to would depend on what they wanted or needed. What is the difference between Roman and Greek mythology? Many of the Roman gods and goddesses were derived from the ancient Greek gods. However, as the years went by, their polytheistic religions started to slowly decline when Christianity became more influential during the 4th century, and eventually, Christianity overtook the polytheistic religion completely. Who are the 12 Roman gods and goddesses? Saturn, god of time. Saturn was the first king of the gods and also known as the god of agriculture. Saturn's weapon was a scythe, a tool used for cutting crops. When Saturn died, the world was split between his 3 sons, Neptune, Pluto, and Jupiter. Neptune ruled the seas, Pluto ruled the underworld, and Jupiter ruled the skies. Jupiter, god of the sky. Jupiter was the most powerful god. He rode a winged horse called Pegasus, who carried the thunderbolts that Jupiter used as weapons. Jupiter could shapeshift, meaning make his body look like something else, like an animal, and he could throw his voice. Juno, queen of the gods. Juno was the beloved goddess of marriage, worshipped as a housewife, mother, and matron. Although Juno watched over all Roman women, her special concern was Roman married women. In fact, there was a festival every year on March 1st to honor her. Neptune, god of the seas. Neptune was also god of earthquakes, known as the Earth Shaker. He carried a trident, which had 3 prongs, and rode on a dolphin or a horse. Neptune was very powerful. People were very scared of him. He had very bad moods, and this would affect the seas. Angry seas were dangerous, so people brought gifts to the temple to try and please him. Pluto, god of the underworld. Pluto ran the underworld. The underworld was where Romans believed your soul went when you died. If you were good, you would go to a nice part of the underworld. However, if you were bad, then it wasn't very pleasant. He had a 3-headed dog called Cerberus and a golden chariot. Minerva, goddess of wisdom. Minerva was born without a mother. Actually, Minerva was born directly out of Jupiter's brain. According to mythology, Jupiter had a terrible headache and Vulcan split his head open only for Minerva to jump out in full battle armor. Minerva was also the goddess of women's work. Mars, god of war. Just like Minerva was born without a mother, Mars was born without a father. Nobody liked him very much, since he was cruel and very vain. He started many wars because he liked fighting and bloodshed, and he didn't care who won or lost a battle. Venus, goddess of love and beauty. According to a myth, Venus was born from sea foam. She was very beautiful, and many statues and paintings of her were made. She represents water, which is essential to life, and her sign was a rose. Mercury, messenger of the gods. Mercury was the youngest son of Jupiter. He was very mischievous, and everyone loved him. He was intelligent and very quick, so he made a good messenger. His job was to tell the gods about everything that was happening. He was a very good negotiator and could talk his way out of trouble. He had a winged hat and sandals so he could fly. He also carried a staff that had wings and 2 snakes coiled around it. Apollo, god of the sun. Every day, he took 4 horses in his chariot and pulled the sun across the sky to give light to the world. He was gentle and warm and very rarely angry. Apollo was also the god of music. He carried an instrument called a lyre, and his weapon was a bow and arrow. He and his twin sister, Diana, were the magical children of Latona. He was born on a floating island because Juno was jealous of his mother and had banished her. Diana, goddess of the hunt. Diana had a twin brother called Apollo. Unlike Apollo, Diana could be cold and unfriendly. Like Apollo, she had a bow and arrow as her weapon. She was associated with wild animals and the woods. She could control and talk to animals. She was often pictured with her hunting dogs or a deer. Cupid, god of love. Cupid was the son of Venus. He was known to be mischievous. Cupid had wings and he would fly around with his bow and arrow. He actually had 2 kinds of arrows. When he shot someone with his golden tipped arrows, they would fall in love with the very next person that they saw. But when Cupid shot with his lead tipped arrows, he made people want to run away from the next person they saw. He was usually shown looking very young. Let's review. First, who was the king of the gods? Saturn was the first king of the gods. Who was the queen of the gods? Juno was the queen of the gods. When Saturn died, the world was split between his 3 sons. Who were they and what did they rule? Saturn's 3 sons were Neptune, Pluto, and Jupiter. Neptune ruled the seas, Pluto ruled the underworld, and Jupiter ruled the skies. Which of these gods are twins? Minerva and Mars? Apollo and Diana? Apollo and Diana were twins. Thanks for joining us. For more information and resources related to Roman mythology, head to twinkl.com.